Here we go. Thanks for tuning into the first episode of Culture Mosaic in the Year of the Monkey. It's now the time to relax and let yourself immerse into the cultural atmosphere that we are offering right now. We have put together a great show for you today. Here's a quick look to sum up our reports. Traditional musical instrument making preserved. We'll talk with Canadian ambassador in Vietnam about his tea music video. And collecting Japanese pottery, a fad in Vietnam. First, let's take a quick look at our cultural highlights from the past year.
"2015 saw new efforts from Vietnam in conserving and introducing heritages to the world. Phong Nha Kẻ Bàng National Park was recognized as a natural world heritage with two new criteria about ecosystem and biodiversity. Later this year, the traditional game of tug of war in Vietnam, Cambodia, Korea, and the Philippines added its name to UNESCO's Intangible Cultural Heritage list. "2015 also saw the strong revival of swan singing, 4 years after being inscribed on the list of intangible cultural heritages, which was in need of urgent safeguarding. 11 of the 31 basic swan songs have been fully recovered and preserved. Vietnam will soon propose to UNESCO that swan singing become an intangible cultural heritage of humanity."
In 2015, Vietnam celebrated diplomatic relations with other countries throughout a number of cultural exchange activities. Vietnam's culture and people were introduced through activities abroad, such as the 5th ASEAN Food and Culture Week in Kiev, the Vietnam Culture Week in Australia, and the Vietnam Cultural Day in South Korea and Czech Republic. In Vietnam, many events were organized, such as the Vietnam-Korea Food and Culture Festival, the German Beer Festival, and the Vietnam-Russian Concert. Cross-cultural events like these promote understanding between the people of Vietnam and other countries. They also strengthen relations between the countries in the future.
In 2015, Vietnam focused on organizing cultural exchange activities with ASEAN countries to strengthen solidarity amongst the Southeast Asian bloc. This is to prepare for the formation of the ASEAN community on December 31st. Many cultural activities were organized to introduce the cultures of ASEAN countries to Vietnamese people, such as Thailand Day in Hanoi, Cambodia Cultural Week in Sóc Trăng Province, and the ASEAN Food and Music Festival. The ASEAN Women's Circle of Hanoi was also established. The group comprises wives and female staff of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Vietnam and representative offices of various ASEAN countries in Hanoi. Vietnamese culture was also promoted in many festivals, including Vietnam Culture Week in other ASEAN countries, such as the Chinh Gai Street Festival Parade in Singapore and the Culinary Exchange Program in Malaysia.
In 2015 was a year of significant anniversaries for the country, including the 85th anniversary of the founding of the Vietnamese Communist Party on March the 2nd, the 40th anniversary of Southern Liberation and National Reunification on April the 30th, the 125th birthday of President Ho Chi Minh on May the 19th, the 70th anniversary of the August Revolution on August the 19th, and the National Independence Day on September the 2nd. These special cultural events were organized to educate young people about national history and to foster and promote patriotism, solidarity, and pride. In particular, a monument to Vietnamese heroic mothers, the country's largest of its kind, was inaugurated in Quảng Nam province to honor the sacrifice of Vietnamese mothers during the wars.
In 2015, many large-scale domestic cultural activities were organized, attracting both domestic and international visitors. Events included Vietnam's Solidarity and Heritage Week, the Đà Lạt Flower Festival, the Hà Giang Buckwheat Flower Festival, and Cultural and Tourism Week celebrating the 250th anniversary of UNESCO world-famous personality Nguyễn Du. In particular, the Traditional Martial Arts Championship attracted the participation of 70 international martial arts groups from 30 countries around the world. This international event is the largest of its kind held in Vietnam.
The sounds of the traditional đàn bầu or đàn nguyệt and other musical instruments often recall childhood memories full of a mother's lullabies, reminding us of our roots. And in this week's Cultural and Lifestyle, we'll visit a village famous for making traditional musical instruments to gain a deeper insight into the work and how artisans here preserve this traditional craft.
This is the sound of the đàn bầu, or Vietnamese monochord, a traditional Vietnamese musical instrument. The đàn bầu, along with other Vietnamese folk instruments, is made entirely by hand. Many of these are made by craftsmen in Đào Xá, the only craft village of the traditional musical instruments in Vietnam. The craft has existed for over 200 years. Now there are only a few households continuing with the traditional craft. Following the tradition of a family with 3 generations making traditional instruments, Đào Văn Tuấn has been working in the craft for several years. For him, making musical instruments is a daily routine.
Nếu mà như cái cây đàn bầu này chỉ làm mất tầm độ. Nếu mà từ làm từ A đến Z thì nó phải mất tầm 3 công. Nhiều công nhất là cái lúc mình làm mộc. Còn đi vào hoàn thiện thì nó cũng nhanh hơn. Có nghĩa là làm thô đấy, mình làm cắt gỗ lấy mẫu lấy mới còn làm thô đó.
Đàn bầu is only one among various kinds of folk instruments that Tuấn and his family have been making. From shaping the lute to attaching separate parts and tuning, all of these are done manually. This requires great attention to detail. Instrument making is a work of art born from the artisan's strong passion for music.
Cái khó khăn lớn nhất để học được cái nghề này thì nó phải là cái tính kiên trì, chịu khó. Và tính kiên trì là cái chủ yếu. Nếu như mà vì cái nghề này nó ngồi suốt ngày, đâm ra là khó người ta có thể là người ta ngồi tỉ mỉ suốt ngày.
Happiness comes to the artisan in such a simple way.
Vui nhất của mình là thật sự ra mình làm ra được một cái sản phẩm để một người ta nhạc sĩ người ta chơi, người ta đáp ứng được cái âm thanh của người ta.
Tuấn learned the craft of making traditional instruments from his father, artisan Đào Văn Soạn, the most famous craftsman in the area. Soạn has been making traditional instruments for over 50 years now. So far, he has handed down this craft to over 100 villagers.
Nghề này là nghề của ông bố tôi truyền lại cho tôi, tức là nghề cha truyền con nối. gắn bó với cái nghề là bởi vì cái nghề này nó là nghề truyền thống của quê hương và đồng thời cũng là nó là cái nghề truyền thống của gia đình.
According to Swat, although making folk instruments is a traditional trade of the village, through the ups and downs of the history and due to economic reasons, now there are only less than 10 households continuing with the craft.
Chừng như là nếu như tôi tưởng chừng là có thể là bị thất truyền. Thế nhưng mà do tức là sau khi nhà nước khôi phục lại văn hóa của dân tộc thì là cái nền âm nhạc này bắt đầu là nó cũng phát triển được. Cho nên đó là một cái niềm tức là tôi rất là phấn khởi bởi vì là giữ và duy trì được nghề truyền thống.
It seems that each time a traditional instrument is played, it conveys the passion of its maker. Sticking to this craft and its range of notes is a way to preserve the soul of traditional Vietnamese music.
You are tuning into Culture Mosaic, our weekly journal with the best picks of the week. The show features the rich cultural diversity of Vietnam and vibrant international cultural events happening around the country. So don't go away, we have a lot more in the lineup coming up right now. Just watched a music video made to celebrate the Tet holiday. It was presented by the staff of the Canadian Embassy in Vietnam and initiated by the Canadian Ambassador David Devine, who has been here for 3 years now. So what's special about this video? Our VTV reporter had an interview with him to find out more about this ambassador and his special music video.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for joining us on the mic today.
Pleasure. It's great to be here. Thank you.
I recently saw a music video you made for Tet holiday, and I'm curious, what inspired you to make this video?
Well, it's a couple of things. We knew Tet was coming up, and we knew we wanted to be able to express our thanks to our hundreds, thousands of followers on our Facebook. And Tet is a time of joy, a time of reunion, a time of music and song. And so wouldn't it be nice to be able to do a video about Tet and spring and the various different seasons, and it's a really perfectly timed.
As a country ambassador to Vietnam, you must be very busy. So how did you make time for this video, and did you get any support from your staff?
Oh yes, I mean actually it was well organized by our public affairs section. I didn't have to do a lot of the organizing myself. I had to practice a little bit. We went to, at lunchtime, we would gather everybody together and try to be able to spend a little bit of time to practicing and switching around the various different groups as to who would do the actual lyrics and things like that. So everybody in the embassy, a little bit of their work involves doing public outreach and connecting with the public. And by doing a video, it's an excellent way to do it.
The song is in Vietnamese. Was it hard for you to memorize and sing it?
I have to say yes. Because Vietnamese language is tonal, so you have to have the right tone when you're talking and various different words that for me is always a little bit more difficult to be able to pronounce. In addition to that, you have to be able to do, you have to have the right note, and you have to have the right key. And so it's very, very important that you have to combine those things. So combining them, yes, it can be a bit of a challenge, I have to say.
Từng dặm núi đêm nay nắp đường, tàu trên ô em rừng rừng. Cầm thay em liễu xanh mềm mại, lạnh lê xâm xoăng đánh đầy.
So what was the most memorable experience while making this video?
The thing that I like most about it is that it was an opportunity for us as an embassy to come together, everybody in the embassy, from the assistants to the program managers to all of us, to be able to make something to give an expression of a gift to the people of Vietnam. And I think that was really the most memorable thing that will stay with me. It was the first time that any of us had been in a sound recording studio. It was the first time we actually made a video. So it was really a challenge. Everyone was a little bit nervous, but as it turned out, it was wonderful. It was we found some very good singers. I'm not among them, but we had some very, very good singers.
Canadian ambassador to Vietnam David Devine took office in October 2013. Before his time here, Devine held various postings in his diplomatic career, including in Ghana, Suriname, and Japan. Since his arrival in Vietnam, he has made it his mission to learn more about the culture and people of Vietnam to promote greater links between the people of the two countries. And Tet, with his colorful activities, has always been his favorite moment of the year. How many times have you celebrated Tet in Vietnam, and what is your favorite thing about it?
I have celebrated Tet. This is my third time for Tet. And Tet, for me, is a wonderful time. It seems like everyone in the country comes together. Family is important, friends are important, sharing is important, and the whole country celebrates together. And it's really an amazing thing to see, because for me, it's kind of like the combination of Thanksgiving in Canada, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's Day, Valentine's Day. It's all in one. And so it's a very special time here.
So you have been here for 3 years.
Yeah, so.
Witnessing all the changes that have taken in the country, how do you think Vietnam can, at the same time, integrate with the world's economy and preserve its tradition?
Well, maintaining their culture is very, very important. For every single country in the world has to address that question, but find what makes you proud and what you feel is the essence of your community, and you try to keep that. And you'll be signing trade agreements and things like that. You'll still be able to you'll pay attention to the culture and the traditions of the Vietnamese culture will go back thousands of years. And so it's really it's a wonderful expression here that I've experienced, and I'll never forget it.
Would you like to send some New Year wishes to VTV4 viewers?
Happy New Year. Chúc mừng năm mới.
Thank you for joining us today, and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Tàu trên ô em rừng rừng, cầm tay em liễu xanh mềm mại, lạnh nê xăm xoăng đánh đầy.
Từng giọt mưa đêm nay thật buồn, mặt hồ sao bỗng như lung linh, và một năm qua đi với bao kỷ niệm để ta nhớ mãi không quên. Mùa xuân, một nhành lá xanh tươi lặng sông, một nhành lá nồng, một tình yêu chưa biết hết. Mùa xuân, để ta hãy đến trong lặng nhau, và tình yêu mãi xanh dần sống trong ta mãi muôn đời. Yêu mùa xuân về, giao thừa đã
Now, Japanese pottery has become popular among Vietnamese people over the past years due to its rustic yet refined appearance. And our today's Connecting Cultures will offer a view of this trend and a closer look into the Japanese tradition.
A sakura teapot. Lucky Cat's Maneki Neko.
an ancient citadel cup, an iris vase. Typical symbols of Japanese culture are brightly displayed on pottery. And these are only a few of the 2,000 pieces of Japanese pottery in the collection of Nguyễn Thu Hà. Since falling in love with Japanese culture, Hà has learned much about the art. For her, Japanese pottery, with its 4,000-year-old history, is a reflection of the culture, people, and evolution of Japan.
Chủ yếu là mình thích cái đồ nặn tay và đồ vẽ tay. Tại vì đây là cái điển hình nhất, cái đặc trưng nhất của gốm Nhật. Đồ nặn tay và đồ vẽ tay thì kể cả hai mẫu mã giống nhau nhưng mà không bao giờ hoàn toàn 100% trùng khớp. Tại vì khi mà người nghệ nhân người ta làm thì mỗi sản phẩm người ta đều thổi một cái hồn riêng và rất là khác biệt. Thực sự là rất ấn tượng với cả gốm của họ ấy.
Japanese pottery is usually thin and has small partings. To create these products, artisans must be vigilant in every step, from choosing the clay, molding and glazing it, to firing it and drawing the partings. Especially, according to Hà, each parting of traditional Japanese pottery has its own meaningful story.
Quả cà tím đối với người Việt Nam hay người châu Á nói chung mà không có đặc biệt đâu, nhưng mà riêng đối với người Nhật thì nó lại là đại diện cho cái sự sinh sôi nảy nở, con cháu đầy đàn ấy. Người ta tin rằng nếu mà trong giấc mơ đầu năm của người Nhật mà mơ thấy quả cà tím thì năm đó sẽ rất là may mắn về cái chuyện kiểu có con cháu và những chuyện sinh nở như vậy. Nói chung là ở trong gốm Nhật thì tất cả những sản phẩm đều có những hoa văn và nét vẽ riêng nhưng mà đều đại diện mỗi một câu chuyện, mỗi một sản phẩm đều có một câu chuyện riêng của nó và rất là thú vị ạ.
If Ha's love for Japan brought her to pottery, Hui's passion for pottery taught him more about the country. Hui was among the first to bring Japanese pottery to Hanoi a few years ago. As a lecturer at Hanoi University of Industrial Fine Arts, Hui soon realized the attraction of simple partings of Japanese pottery.
Nhật họ có một cái vừa là trào lưu vừa là một cái triết lý ấy, nghĩa là một cái triết lý giản đơn một cách hoàn hảo ấy. Mọi thứ của họ thật tinh tế đến mức mà giản lược đến tối thiểu đi mà vẫn toát lên được cái tinh thần của Nhật. Có những cái họ chỉ dùng một nét thôi hoặc là 2 nét bút thôi nhưng vẫn giải quyết được vấn đề là vẻ đẹp, thẩm mỹ rồi tinh thần của cái đồ vật đấy.
He believes that collecting also means inspiring others who have the same passion for Japanese culture. Whether those who come to his shop are familiar with Japanese pottery or not, they are all impressed by these little items.
Cái sản phẩm gốm Nhật mình thấy nó rất là nhẹ nhàng, tinh tế, hoa văn cũng rất là dễ chịu, nói chung là và nó cũng khá là tươi vui mắt.
Mình cảm giác là nhìn gốm Nhật mình cảm giác là khá là yên bình.
Mình cũng hay mua gốm Nhật ấy, mình thích mà. Ra thì công dụng của nó với cả cái chất lượng của nó thì cũng khá tốt, với cả hình dáng của nó nữa cũng đặc biệt, nó cũng trông rất là xinh.
Qua gốm Nhật thì mọi người có thể nắm được văn hóa của Nhật nhiều hơn, hoặc là chỉ đơn thuần là ở trên một cái đồ gốm thôi. Nếu mà với một người bình thường có thể không tìm hiểu gì thì cũng có thể đi qua cái đồ gốm có thể hiểu được một chút về văn hóa Nhật. Ví dụ như là những cái sự cầu kỳ trong cái cách tạo ra sản phẩm đấy. Thực ra họ cầu kỳ trong cách làm nhưng đến lúc ra sản phẩm cuối cùng thì trông nó rất giản đơn, nhưng càng nhìn kỹ thì nó lại càng thấy cái độ cầu kỳ tinh xảo ở trong cái đồ vật đấy.
These cute little items attract Vietnamese youngsters with their beauty and the fascinating stories behind them. Collecting Japanese pottery has introduced a Japanese culture to Vietnamese, and collectors like Ha and Huy have helped expand the cultural bridge between Vietnam and Japan.
And that's all we have for this special edition of Cultural Mosaic. Thanks for watching. Remember to check out our videos on social media and our websites vtv4.vn or youtube.com/vtv4yo. And we are always glad to see your messages, so please keep writing. I'm Dai Chiang in Hanoi and look forward to see you again very soon. And Happy New Year to you all.